They have to make Fury pay for every inch they take on the attack here.
And just in case you're wondering about how the other game is going, in case you are very firmly locked into DarkZero versus Fury, currently 4-2 to Wolves. They've just finished their defensive half on Nighthaven Labs. Now they're going on to the attacking side, so that game doesn't really feel like a foregone conclusion either. It could be a 2-0 to Bliss if Wolves can't hold on to that lead.
Get into these bans then. Dockerby is going to be the first one. A skyrocketing ban rate here at the major. You know, we've always seen the occasional Dockerby ban, but that universal impact of being able to call the phones, cut down the roamers is something that nobody wants to be going up against. So we see Ying going as well, and then in will come our defenders, which is where it gets really tasty in the banning at the minute. Solis will go, and then you've got a wide choice. Fenrir, Mira, Valkyrie, Azami, Kaid, there's so many options for this final pick.
Yeah, I think the KB and Ying is probably the most common pairing we've had so far at the major. The rationale I've always gave into it is the KB is just so oppressive when it comes to hunting down roamers and really boxing the defenders back in towards sight. And Ying is perfect for hitting a site with the candelas, the smokes that she brings, the flexibility to step across the hard breach gadgets if required. To her being taken offline is a very reasonable ban. Those last two, though, it is the Azami alongside the Solis. I don't really feel like droning was a big issue too much in that last game for either side, but here it's just going to really crimp things down even further. That makes me nervous for DarkZero on the basis that their game is very structured, it's very patient, it's very info-reliant. If Fury can shut that down, or would have been able to with the Solis on side, it could have been having a very, very different conversation. But here at least DarkZero should feel pretty comfortable coming into the attacking half when we get there. To begin with, they start on the defense. There is this mirror on side. They're locked and ready, and Fury are going to have to start off by attacking into the basement. That can be quite a battle, as it is quite a fortress of a site.
So I spoke about the freedom that Fury were able to play with, coming in here sort of, you know, maybe without too many expectations upon them. Obviously the favourites, you know, heavily being DarkZero if we look at the reality of the situation. But in map 1, I think that's absolutely true. You now get to map 2, and there's going to be a different situation for Fury to manage. And it's whether they can continue playing with that freedom or whether the pressure starts to mount. Because in map 1, you're up against DarkZero, you're thinking, yeah, but let's just see what we can get. In map 2, when you're 1-up, you start thinking, we could do this. We could get through to phase 2. We could guarantee SI. This is huge. And those thoughts will inevitably start creeping in. So it's then how the players manage that. So that's going to be another factor to keep an eye on as well.
I was going to say, NGR missed that drone for a long time, and my God, is it lucky he chose to move when he did, because I9 was hot on his tail trying to catch him out before he managed to get back to sight, but will keep himself alive and out of danger.
Just looking for that top floor clearance. We've got 4 at least of DarkZero, and the 5th is out there in dirt. Thank you very much, Mr. Observer. I'm not.
I believe we have. I want to say it's medics for these last two. We had easy for the first one. It is medics. See, I know it's medics. I just know when it's medics. What can I say?
Yes, we've got.
You know how I know when it's medics? If there's an Iana in the game, he is the observer that likes to troll us, because you know the animation of when
he's got it timed absolutely.
He just flicks away perfectly, and I'm just like, what's just happened? I'm like, oh, it's medics.
It's like a movie level transition. It's absolutely beautiful when he gets it.
He has got it down.
But yeah, so DarkZero are just playing this turtled down in the basement. You know, as I said, they need to make sure that they're controlling the map. They need to make sure that they, you know, punishing Fury for every inch that they take. And already they've sort of chosen not to do that. I'm not saying it's not going to work, but by turtling, they're giving Fury everything.
And don't seem too bothered about it, because they can dig in behind the shields, in behind the mirror windows, in behind the C4s and everything else they might possibly need. But this is a great nade coming down, immediately caught out by the ADS. If there was no ADS, that would be a very, very dead gav.
Certainly would. He's going to have to play around those track stingers. They should be able to clear them out if they wish to. There is a drone there as well, going to be taken down. Good teamwork, pinged out and picked up. It's going to be Pamba who is playing out inside behind the generator. So at the minute, Fury have got a little bit of a difficulty. DarkZero have recognised where they're coming from, and they've stacked the numbers on that side. They are ready for that push down blue, and that's all that Fury have got at the minute. I always like to see, you know, options. They've got a couple up on hatches. There comes the drop from Lycolis. He's going to find that very difficult, and then he takes him down. It's going to be as easy as that, but here goes Dark. He manages to get a trade shut down. DarkZero are pretty ready for this, but Crit J's got himself inside a side.
And I9's got a 2K as well. One more to find at the back as well, just in behind the shelving, tucked in quite nicely here as well. Crit really needs to find his man. There's only 2 left. Canadian down super low. It's the player in behind the shield that's going to be the frustration. Baits him out, but loses it out. I9 has got a net of 4K and he's found the 3rd Tim. Just NJR to bring down, and they know exactly where he is.
That's it. He knows that he's going to be on one of the sides of these boxes. The mirror window has been punched out, so he can play in from that direction if he wishes to. He changes it up, and he's going to head through, but with 8 seconds, he's going to have to take this fight. I9 closes it out. He knows what he's done. That's round 1 Fury.
What were we saying coming in between it? I9, quiet first map, and yesterday it was map 2 where he really came online, and literally in round 1, he walks a 4K. Beautiful stuff, and I love the alignment we saw coming out of Fury. I won't lie, I was a bit worried at first. They were dropping nades into ADSs whilst there were 2 players with 3 flashbangs each sat in back pocket, and I was like, boys, these nades could be getting you kills or shields or anything, but you're throwing nades into ADSs. What is going on? But when the drop comes in and you've got all 5 players mobilizing at exactly the same time, even DarkZero can't keep up with the chaos of everything happening all around the basement all at once. Really good stuff by Fury, great aggression. Now we're going to move up towards Cash and CC.
If you remember, I said coming into this, one of the keys for DarkZero is map control, is not allowing Fury to take that space and to use it with a man advantage. They've shown us on Chalet that they're capable of doing it and capable of winning rounds when they get in those positions. Round 1 of Clubhouse, we give them the entire map, we turtle up downstairs, and look what Fury do with it. They get themselves positioned really well, they push from multiple angles at the same time, and they make DarkZero's life very difficult because of it. You know, DarkZero, had they been out in the map, had they got a couple of kills, you know, if Fury are pushing with 3 players at the end of the round, they can't do what they've just done in that same way. So, again, I want to see DarkZero just a little bit more active.
Well, this is looking like a catwalk take with the monster marching his way forwards. You know, Lone Legion on side to stop this one. Sure, they've got the smokes and a couple of C4s, but that really is about it. By the way, this is a heads up. It is 4-4 between Bliss and Wolves. I did say that 4-2 lead with Wolves moving onto the attacking side looked a little bit precarious, and sure enough, Bliss are dragging it back, and there's a lot of Aussie fans in the chat cheering them on.
Gaveni just looking to try and use those impact nades. He's coming under heavy fire here.
What do you do?
Taken down, everything stacked against him. The Capitao Firebolt, the Monty Shield. That is going to be the catwalk taken. Hard breach options. They've got the Thermite on side with Lycolis, so he's no doubt going to try to get that CCTV wall open, and once he does, that's exactly what he's doing now. That is going to give them everything they need to get a plant there.
I need to know where were my magnets there from Gaveni as well, because everything was flying at him. You know, they've gone through no flashes or smokes on their side, but it's still just plugged all the way through. Now Lycolis is in, plants going down, smoke comes out. He'll stick it the whole way through. Oh, nice and close. It was so close to being complete, but Rice has got up there and done the damage that he needed to, and now they'll be on a bit of a panic watch, I think, being mindful that they very nearly got caught completely off guard there by Fury.
They did. Lycolis made the right decision. I think he would have stuck it through the smoke.
Right.
It was smart play from Rice, though, to know that might happen and to step up and take the shots that were needed. Crit J does manage to find that kill. 4 versus 3. Canadian underneath, Nitro in hand, so they need to be aware of that if they're going to go for another plant. There we see it, and JR takes down 99. Diffuser is not in hand, it's down cold at the minute. 3 versus 3. Dark, he needs to start finding some kills. Somebody needs to move in here.
They've got Firebolt, they've got smokes, they've got, you know, two smokes and a smoke bolt to play with. They've got so much gadgetry they can work with, and I really thought they'd plant Monty on the doorway in between sites and have someone planted behind the server stack. So again, small errors being made by Fury, but they've still got every chance to win this round. Rounding for the Echo, but that's Supernova. Backs a super punch straight into his skull. Down goes Crit J. 1 equalized out the other way, so they are finding these trades. Now in a 2 versus 2, they've got to make this plant work, but look who's below. It's Canadian with a C4 who should take this one away. Down goes BG Man. Dark's got it all to do with 35 seconds to play.
Yep, they've never dealt with that threat from underneath here, Fury, and that has been a big problem for them. Pamba drops away, because guess what he's got in pocket? A Nitro, so he's just going to play from underneath. He's going to get a double nice and easy if he triggers this one. The throw went out. There's the kill. Better from DarkZero, and the big difference is they didn't turtle up. They kept some map control. They had Canadian underneath. They were able to deny the plant. Much better from DarkZero.
It's really good denial play. The one thing I think that had been overlooked by Fury there was downstairs denial.
They didn't take the ground downstairs. If you're ever going to take it, so if you're playing in your ranked games and you're thinking, how do I get a plant down in CCTV? It is as simple as take catwalk, open CCTV wall, and have somebody down in lounge. At that point, it should be almost impossible for defenders to... Basically, if you don't get the plant down with those three things, you've made a mistake, almost certainly, because there's no real way to threaten you from that point. But Fury missed one of those big three, and they allowed Canadian to stay downstairs.
It was when they rotated 3 players over towards playing on CC Breach that I was a little bit like, oh, guys, like, surely you leave one. You got 3 players that have taken Garage. You can do whatever you want from there. You can watch Red Stairs, which would deny that whole play from happening. But instead, they all went over to try and play platform. And again, it's small errors that are costing Fury moments in these rounds. I think it's not like losing them rounds all over the place. Sure, it's only 1-on-1 so far, and maybe it will cost them more as the game goes by. But just tightening up the screws in certain areas, I think is really key for them to get ahead here on the attacking half.
I honestly think Rice wins the round there, to be honest.
Stopping Lycolis, they were doomed otherwise.
Exactly that. Lycolis was firm in that plant, and he knew that he could get away with it. He knew that he would survive, and Rice stepped up and did what needed to be done.
5-4 to Wolves, by the way. I'm keeping tabs of both games here because both of them are very exciting and could equally see big teams going home. So I feel that both are worth monitoring. Again, a reminder, if you want to watch that game as well, you can watch it on twitch.tv/Rainbow6Bravo. But here on the mainstream, it is DarkZero just versus Fury, in case you are only just joining us. Here trying to work their way in through the bar hatch. You need the EMPs to come over to help out with this one, of which they have none. So that is very much staying electrified. And it feels like a bit of an oversight to not have some kind of anti-electrification gadget to bring along here.
I'm just looking to see exactly where all of the DarkZero players are and whether they've got anybody out on the roam this time, or whether, again, they're going to give Fury that space and time to allow them to set up their attack. I feel like last time they did better when they had players out in the map. All 5 of them are downstairs this time. So, again, DarkZero giving Fury a lot of space. It hasn't taken Fury too much time to realise that's the case. They're already looking to get themselves in towards blue. They know that everybody's inside of sight. So now Fury have got about a minute and 15 to just build their attack, to just wait, get everything in place, and then it's at 3, 2, 1.
Immediate key difference there is the nade coming in onto the barbed wire that slowed down Dark when he dropped into oil previously, so he couldn't really join in to support BG Man or whichever player it was that was pushing in from blue stairs. So they are adapting, they are realizing the things that have slowed them down previously and are making changes for that. But like DarkZero, it's a game of patience when it comes around to their setup. They're not trying to blitz in towards sight halfway into the round. Instead, really getting themselves set up comfortably and then looking for a big hit.
On the warden this time, just looking to make it difficult for them to push down there, taking out the track stingers as well, just peeking out from behind. So a little bit of a shift up to personnel down in just where everybody's positioned. I think I'm right in saying it was either Pamzu or NJR who was playing in behind the generator last time around. Critcher, he's on a creep down here. He doesn't find his man. He's just going to pre-fire around the corner, but it really signals his presence there. And with 45 seconds left to go, you just feel this attack doesn't quite have the same teeth that it did last time.
I was going to say, it's coming up against Canadian with a silenced TCSG. Switches to the pistol, but taken down. I9, 2 kills, can't slow him down this map. 6-1 he stands at so far. A 2v2 ensues. This game, these teams, these rounds are just so bloody close.
Lycolis is up on the hatch. He has diffuser in hand. I'm not sure he knows where the last is. A ping goes out and it's going to tell him. I9 moves into sight. There's an opportunity to potentially put the diffuser down here if I9 can cover. But he's got Lycolis for the time being is looking for kills, like you say. Time is running down, 10 seconds, and they're just getting themselves sort of crossed over each other. I think not too sure exactly of the positions of these remaining defenders. I9 misses his shots. It's all up to Lycolis. He downs one. Can he find the second? He knows where he is. He's a ringer at the road. No! It's going to be DarkZero to pick it up this time. They managed to get themselves the second round. It's 2-1.
Okay, Wolves are on match point, 6-4. Cheers, Dev.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Jesus, I thought it might have been the players in our game going nuts for a second, then we cut to them, they're all in silence, and no, it turns out it's the other players all going absolutely bananas. But again, another pretty close round in that 2v2. For a second, really thought we might see them do it, but that 1v1 was, well, everything. They got the down onto one, and it really came down to the final spin around that won it out for DarkZero in the end. Close affairs, though, 2-1. First 3 rounds are done and dusted. we go again on the same two sites. I imagine we'll see ourselves maybe go back up to, well, no, it'll be an offsite this time around we'll have to step into. So curious to see where DZ choose to go, how they play it out. Time will tell.
Big round from Rice there again. That's
Huge
two
round.
rounds. For me, 2 rounds in a row that Rice has won. Stepping up and preventing the Lycolis plant in CCTV was the difference maker, and it allowed Canadian then to finish it off from below. Without them doing that, Canadian's not able to have that impact. And then there with a big double, R9 just missing his shots on Rice, I think. You know, if he wins that one, it goes a completely different way. So Rice doing fantastically well, and it was, I'm pretty sure it was, I'm right in saying it was 1v1 at the end. Lycolis had already downed one, so it was an essential win for Rice there. So DarkZero, for me in those last 2 rounds have just felt a little bit different. I don't know whether they've sort of switched on, whether they've sat up straight, you know, what's gone on, but they just feel a little bit different, and I think we might start to see them gain some momentum unless Fury can do something about it.
I think a big part of this second round is going to be the patience shown by DarkZero. At what point do they concede control of the extended hold out towards Cash and CC? And probably even more importantly, can Fury punish them for playing out on the extended hold? Probably want to try and get someone that can cut things in half here. You haven't got an Azami, for example, so keeping construction closed up or at least blocked off with keeper barriers is simply not going to be an option, which makes that retreat back to site a little bit harder if someone is posted on the construction window. So keep an eye on Fury here and where it is they opt to play.
Going to be with Rice inside a shower. Not too much of a surprise there. He's going to be playing the mirror window onto the breach, of course. Just watching the cams for the time being. Looks like Fury are going to be looking to mount up and move over from the east side. BG Man's taken some damage along the way as well, down to about half health. He's just going to be working from the rooftop for the time being. I think, you know, we're still in that phase of them trying to get themselves established inside of the map here. Canadians just lurking underneath by the looks of things once again. On the mute, I would imagine that he's got Nitro in hand. So again, just a threat that they need to be aware of.
I'm pretty sure they've seen him on a drone, so they know that he's down there. Pamba, by the way, I think once he kind of felt the heat kicking up, once the west window inside of inside CT, sorry, was taken out, he just backed away in towards site and really didn't let that cutoff exist coming in from construction. Now, a changeover from the other side for Fury. They've started out towards the east and opened up that wall. Now they've moved things over and they're going to open up Jacuzzi wall as well, and that'll really be all that is required of Lycolis in terms of his hard breaching roles in this round. The rest of it then is purely trying to get that plant down.
R9 takes a lot of damage from Canadian there inside of stock before he drops away into basement. And again, this is what I like to see from DarkZero. They're not allowing Fury to have control. They're keeping them guessing. They're keeping them on their toes. And that's going to be difficult for Fury to deal with. So Canadian being out on the roam, he's just that question mark for them. And he's going to make life very difficult. BG Man spots one inside, but I tell you what, it doesn't matter. NJR just slides his way out, picks the headshot and moves back to safety. Beautiful play from NJR.
Not losing that one, is he now? Crit obviously has got firebolt, smoke bolts to play with, tons that he can commit towards sites here as well and use it for his push in. Imagine you'll see one of them coming out in a second. There we go, smoke coming out first, fire probably to follow as well, just to block everything out, stop the mirror going in for a swing, and that should be their ability to go pushing on fours. Dark has also come in from the backside and found one for himself.
Yeah, much better there. NJR was dealt with really well. Crit J knows where he is, manages to find Rice. 4 versus 3 straight on into sight. They're not messing about. They've got a lot of control here. It could come down to a Canadian Nitro from below once again. Lycolis is thinking about the plant. He's going to get up on the bed. Should be safe up there. They just need to make sure they've got the cover. Nitro comes out, but kill after kill after kill goes in the direction of Fury. Pamba moves in, manages to get one. Time is ticking. They have to stick this plant. There is no two ways. Pamba finds another, but shut down in an essential kill from Dark as Fury level things up 2-2.
You'd be terrified if they lost out in a 4 versus 1. Pamba, at least with the couple coming over though, did make a bit of an effort of it. Gave Fury something to think about. 2-2, Tim. Nice and even between them both.
Certainly is. Fury looking good once again, making it very difficult. Wolves have won.
Yeah, that's it. 7-4. 1-1. Now they're going into the third map. I think their map is club as well, actually.
It's going to be a heck of a decider between them and Bliss then as they go the distance. And like you say, Wolves are just waking up at the right time by the looks of things. Bliss managed to beat them in the best of 1 yesterday, but it looks like one map might just not be enough for them today.
All right, well, back onto our game then. As said, 2-2. Going steady for both teams so far. Fury is their map pick Finding themselves with 2 rounds on the attack does not feel like a bad spot to be in. Casually going to be the push point. Are we seeing a Monty coming in once again? Yes, we are. So, Tim, the reminder of the thing that we caught out in the previous round that really worked against Fury was having no one playing below. 2 C4s, 2 downs, 2 round-winning moments, really, for DarkZero. So, Fury, when they take over Garage this time round, because they had 3 players in there previously, the answer is not to rotate every player, then out towards the CC platform to start your push.
No, absolutely not. I think the lesson is going to be learned. They need to make sure that they're in control of the bottom floor as well. Canadian this time, instead of being on the Valkyrie, is going to be on the Bandit, playing aggressively up against that mirror window, looking for the trick. It's pretty easily dealt with. They can pretty much just run up and smash it, which is exactly what they're going to do. But it does at least tell him that the presence is there. Please don't let go of the Selma yet, like always. I think that should have been a little bit obvious. I'm a little bit disappointed in like always there. There's no electrification on the wall whatsoever. He looks at one side and all of a sudden it becomes electrified, so he throws it at the other as if the Bandit's not just going to put the charge on the other side as well. I'm a little bit surprised by that one. Sorry, like always, but I've got to call that one as I see it.
You've offended the ace. You must repent.
I'm a hard breach main. I'm a hard breach main.
Oh, do you want to step in and do his job, Tim?
Not quite. No, I don't fancy the gunfights against NJR and everybody else that goes along with it. Gavini is going to be dealt with once again. They've done catwalk fantastically well. I've got to say, Fury have dealt with that really well twice now.
To be fair, DarkZero tried a bit more this time around. They had the Yokai drone in place to try and knock the Monty out, and that's why I9 for a second looked a little bit shaky up there, but kept himself full HP, dodged away, and when the firebolt came from underneath, that was really all they needed. So good stuff coming out. Once again, they have catwalk control, but for me, it's going to be about this breach.
Thinking about taking out the mirror window there, but chooses not to. There isn't any need. All he needs to see is that the Bandit is not in position. Does take down a Yokai drone as well. So again, this is good from Fury. They've got a lot of what they need, but there is Nitros below. Crit J sees an opportunity. Surely he's got to get his man. He does take down Pamba, and that was a big risk from DarkZero. That's a Nitro gone. There was one in the pocket, so they're now left with only Canadian, who has the ability to deny from below. And I'm sure that Fury are going to be watching for that. BG man does get himself taken out, but look at that from Crit J.
I was going to say, DarkZero with the double jump out. Is that you? What on earth is going on? Now, I9's done the right thing here. Step forward aggressively, blocking off a doorway and looking to stop members of DarkZero from pushing back in. Lycola's going in for the plant here as well. This time round, same spot, same sort of place, but this time he can stick it. Crit J into a triple in the round as well. Monty still on side for Canadian. I think his goose is cooked, and this round is not going to be a winner.
No, he's already low health.
Oh my, he's been done, he's been done.
That's going to be a round for Fury, so they get themselves ahead, not just in the map, but let's remember they're already one map up. They only need to win Clubhouse, whereas DarkZero, they need to keep themselves in the Atlanta Major by winning Clubhouse, so a lot of work to be done ahead of them here. It could be a 4-2 attack in half here for Fury. They got a much better performance, I think, on CCTV there. They still did very well taking the catwalk, but they got the diffuser down much better. I don't know, DarkZero, they sort of played for those Nitros underneath last time around, but this time Pamba's throwing himself out a bedroom window, and I get it, there's a bit of comms going on there saying, look, I've got him by the white van, but you've got such precious cargo in your pocket with that Nitro that it is a big loss to lose him out of a window like that.
It's another big round from Crit J as well, like, really across the team, I9's the one that you're looking at this game after a massive 4K that he had in round one, really propelling him forward, but it's been Crit J for me that has been the most consistent across these rounds. BG man, in comparison to last map, pretty quiet. He's already on more deaths and certainly far fewer kills, but that's quite typical where you'll see players just kind of vary up and down map to map. We all do it ourselves when we're playing ranked, for example. It happens, but Crit J again is that young gunner. I think a lot of eyes are on him. There's a lot of expectation. He's delivering on this map at the very least and has pulled Fury back ahead here, 3-2.
Going to be down to basement then for the final defense from DarkZero. I think they are pretty much locked and loaded down in the site again, so giving the map over to Fury. There's been 2 rounds so far. Fury have won one, DarkZero won the other, so it is a 50-50, no real advantage to either side. Fury certainly weren't as good in the last attacking round as they were in their first. They were able to really collapse on site with some great precision strikes to find a couple of kills and give themselves the room that they needed, but it did still come down to a 1v1 at the end between Lycolis and Rice, so DarkZero certainly need to be careful here, because there is definitely a world where Fury are able to take an advantage into the second half.
stretch.
Going live.
Got themselves a clear through the map and are working now on getting, I imagine, very, very soon, all the verticals opened up. Hatches being cracked open inside a kitchen at the same time, just making sure they're getting everything done and prepped before really having about half the round here to work with. Key change this time round. Obviously, BG Man being on the Thatcher means no more electrified hatches. Not that DarkZero have a kite, they're going for the Bandit on Rice instead.
Yep, this time it is Pamazoo playing in behind that generator. Gavini's going to be a little bit deeper as he was in the first round. So again, a little bit of a switch in personnel and just where everybody's playing. For the time being, Fury are opening those hatches, making sure, again, whether it's phantom pressure or actual pressure, that there's just plenty for DarkZero to think about. They did drop this hatch last time from Bar into Moto and push themselves into Church. Rice is there, he's in position, ready to fight back, should that happen.
And they know now that Bandit is trying to trick onto the triple wall as well. So a wall side take is doable, but definitely more challenging than maybe trying to go for what they've done before, which is the heavy blue side hits. They need to remove the Bandit away, because by the looks of it, Tim, this is going to be their attack, and they've chosen the hard side, that's for sure.
I'd like to see a bit more pressure, I was just going to say, from Kitchen side. Crit J is in there with the book opening everything up, just preventing anybody from playing underneath there. The hatch is open. They haven't really done anything to deal with dirt, so I would have to suggest that they're going to push the blue and Bar side, because otherwise dropping this hatch is going to be, well, asking for trouble.
Bit of a rotate over here as well, with a couple of players looking to drop at the same time inside of Kitchen. You can be a little bit isolated, really, if that's all you're going for. But by the looks of it, there's also a player coming down blue. So it's a three-point push coming in here. Hard focus immediately onto the Church wall, mind you. Trying and force their way through the Bandit. They might just get away with it. Gaveni's gone down, but Dark's also been taken out.
Kills come in, then it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath. BG Man finds Rice, 20 seconds left to go. There is one down. I9 finds a real long-range effort. BG Man onto Gavini. This is all going Fury's way. 15 seconds left to go. Like always, needs to think about getting the plant down. How about that from Canadian? Uses the shotgun to create his angle and create the kill, but like always, is in there getting the plant down. BG Man says, don't you worry about it. I'm going to find the kill instead. And Fury take the round. It's 4-2.
4-2 attack in half. Fury might just be about to do it here, Tim. They might actually be able to bring DZ down. Unless we see an absolute miracle on the attack inside from DZ. One hell of a bounce back. This could be done and dusted.
We haven't had a tactical timeout from DZ on this map yet, and I'm sort of wondering exactly when that is going to be called, because surely it's going to come at some point. You wouldn't usually do it at the halfway mark, but I would expect if things don't go their way on the first attack, we might just see it then if they're 5-2 down. But like you said, there's a mental element that's going to start coming into this for DarkZero, where they start thinking, you know, we should be winning this game, and
Camera feed up and
that energy's going to be sucked out of you, and maybe, just maybe, they don't have what they need to get back into this one, because Fury are just riding high at the minute.
You know me, Tim, I love seeing the castle. I'm always keen to see where these barricades go down. We've had a couple already dropped out so far. The third one coming down looks to be the SSG Rome-esque sort of style. One onto main stairs, one through bathroom going out towards Strip, a couple based around Bar itself to lock down the central part of the map, and the hatch being opened up on the top floor. It is going to be that full 3-floor Rome, something we didn't see DarkZero do on their defensive side. They were very much playing the more hunkered down approach. Here, Fury taking the exact opposite approach of the game.
Just getting out there and just preventing DarkZero feeling comfortable. Crit J is going to have that responsibility on his shoulders for the time being on the Oryx. It looks like a lot of the rest of Fury have sort of fallen back in towards sight. So Crit J is going to be the one to watch. He's the one up on the top floor for the time being. DarkZero need to get in there, get the drones ahead of them, make sure that they're clearing out. They are opening CCTV, so that's going to be their point of ingress.
Seeing these drones whizzing past as well off the back of those bulletproof cams that they've got stationed right at the end of the hallway. So they can see what's going on, at least for now, around Kitchen. Someone sat on the cams. Someone else, I think, maybe a black-eye camera coming out there. Gaveni going down again. I mentioned it already back on that last map, but it's becoming the same story here. Just can't seem to get himself involved in this game.
Just seems like everything is going against DarkZero at the minute. Nothing seems to go their way. Fury picking up another good opener. It's the Ash, it's not the end of the world, but what it does, it's not just about the utility. You've got to think about the manpower and availability. So now, Fury, they don't need to worry about Crit J getting back to site. It's still 4v4 on site, even if Crit J loses his life. So now he can burn time. Now he can play a little bit fast and loose. He can gamble, he can take the gunfight. He can try to waste even more time, get on the flank and just make life difficult for DarkZero.
And for now, getting the impact out onto those, which means Canadian should be going 2 by 2. Indeed he is, and trying to get that kitchen hatch opened up. The black eye that was very conspicuously hidden away on the lounge sign, also removed. So that's a bit more utility being taken away from Fury. They had a lot of information coming into this round, and sure, slowly it's been like pulled away from them, but it has helped run that clock down. Down goes BG, man. I know it's pretty quiet this map, but it's been massive in the series. Dark down again as well. NJR in a great position here, seemingly completely unchallenged.
Yeah, NJR's done that really well. Fury just, like you say, giving up blue, really, and that's a big mistake from them because DarkZero have recognised that and taken full advantage. Like Allis does manage to get himself back upstairs, but you're not going to find anybody inside a kitchen like Allis. It's not where they're playing, and if he tries to move through here, he's going to be contending with Pamba, who hears that straight away, knows where the man's coming from. It is as easy as that, and it just says that Fury were clutching at straws a little bit.
Castle Barricade is completely working against them here. Crit J with a good shot though. Don't write him off because again, been mega on this map, could still clutch up, but 3 players from DarkZero now breaching their way forwards. Only 1 left standing. This should be a DarkZero round through and through, and sure it is. Pamba closing it out. Great first round from DarkZero.
Yep, good attack from them to bring one back. That's sending a message to Fury as well that DarkZero are here to play. They're not beaten yet. They were just, to be honest, in control of that. Fury, it's got to be frustrating from their side. They get the opening kill with BG, man. They're 5 versus 4. They've got Crit J out on the roam. All they really need to do is sort of lock down sight with the other 4. You know, have one in blue, have one in bar, have one in dirt, and then have one floating to support. But instead, they allowed NJR into blue. And look at the damage that he did from there. It was just one after another. You know, you can't just give that space up. It's just not going to work.
These are the small things that I mentioned back at the start of this map as well. It's where the screws need tightening a little bit in areas for Fury, the way they play off each other at points, things like that as well, just giving up crucial parts for defense. You really have to force DarkZero to commit some kind of resource for, whether it's chucking a few nades, whether it's losing drones to clear it out, whatever it might be. But largely there, you've just seen the ace walk in for free and just dominate the entirety of the downstairs from there. Now we change sites, so we'll see how things go. It's going to be this extended hold out towards the east, as you come to expect when defending gym and bedroom. We'll see if DarkZero can punish that hold coming out from Fury. As last time round, Fury couldn't really make DarkZero pay for it.
Allis with the mirror window onto the outside wall, much the same as we see on CCTV. May well support 703. There will be no bandit tricking efforts. They're not going to try to keep him out of there, so it's not going to support anything like that. It can be shot out depending where the depending where they're trying to place the explosives, but on a roof that you can rappel down from to place, it's really not the end of the world, so I'm not too sure how much that's going to gain them, to be honest, other than the knowledge that they're out there on balcony. But we will see as it continues. Like always moves himself away. He's just watching for that push him through Threezer, but I don't think he's going to be able to stay there. As that hatch gets taken out, it makes it very perilous for him.
Yeah, a couple of C4s to play behind though on the Valkyrie in the mirror. Some good options to play for Denial here, the same way that DarkZero did when they were defending on Cash and CC. Ruining that round for Fury a little bit earlier on. Could be a similar story. Going to start things out here a little bit late. 60 seconds really to get the main breach opened up. Isn't exactly quick work.
Pamba just looking, he's sort of cautious there, as if there's a little bit of information to suggest that there's somebody around that area, but he's not going to be coming up against anybody anytime soon, I wouldn't have thought. Crit J just moving back through into construction. You can see they're playing within a very small space here of Fury. They've been forced right back. Construction and logistics is pretty much everything that they've got, so DarkZero have got complete map control here. 1 minute 35 left to go. They're going to be pushing their way into cash pretty soon, looking to open that wall into construction. So again, Fury going to have to dip back and play in an even smaller area, but for the time being, using the impact nade, Crit J is able to prevent that.
Just a way set up as well, in a spot there to be in a good spot to deny things away with the impacts, at least slow things down a little bit more. Again, for DarkZero, air quotes, patience is the words that comes into this one, but really, I think it depends on whether or not DarkZero feel ready to hit the site come that 30-second mark. They've got 35 seconds to play with here. I feel they've got a lot from what they already need, to be honest with you. Feeling quite comfortable, flashes to play behind as well. Got a couple more Flores drones they can throw in. Far from out of it, and you can just see how Fury will congregate towards the northwest of these two sites. Really dug on back. So really, all eyes turn towards DarkZero. Not having that West Breach open could be a big stinger for them, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely could be. You can just see the line is drawn for Fury there. They're going to hold their positions now for the last 35 seconds. They're going to take the gunfights as they approach. Pamba, he's just looking to pepper in through that wall, but he's not going to find anybody. DarkZero need to be picking kills up at this point. In goes more and more utility picked up by Wamai. Magnus just trying to force anybody out of position. Critchay will be taken down. Gaveni is inside a sight, and this could be the moment for DarkZero. The aggression is paying off. Pamba gets one. He knows they're in the shower. Cleans him out. 5 versus 2. Canadians planting. The fight back is on as Like always manages to find one. Here comes BG Man, closed down from the window. DarkZero take another, and they are finding their feet on the clubhouse attack.
2 attacks in a row and looking very comfortable. Again, when you get to that 30-second mark, as long as they feel ready to say the word go, then DarkZero are all good. It doesn't matter how much work you do slowing them down. Really good and convincing stuff so far, and definitely helping by restricting the movement of the defenders with the help of the Grim Gadget. Just makes it so difficult to go really anywhere without being seen. As you can see, attackers being tagged in a couple of places on this top floor makes it all too easy. A little bit of cover coming in, and Gaveni having a massive impact in this round. 3 kills to his name.
Nice boy! Nice boy!
Just see, it's just a bit more of a serious approach to the team comms. Obviously, we saw the fun Troy was having earlier, and there's definitely space for it. It hypes the team up, it gets the energy there, but they're very much focused on winning this, I think, at this point in time, and they're just keeping that sort of strictly business at the minute. 4-4 now, as they've thought their way back on Clubhouse. They've leveled things up, much better on the attack here, which, you know, it can be a bit of a roll of the dice on Clubhouse sometimes, but on the Thorn, going to be all the way down in the basement, something DarkZero need to pick up and deal with.
One of those games where it just turns into a very attacker-leaning club. I mean, DarkZero are already 2-0 in this half overall. That is cheeky. I like this. Thorn Gadget in a great place.
You've got to be creative with them, because the fuse is such that any entry going in and going through, it's not really entry denial, isn't it? It's information gathering, it's intel gathering, but it's also things like plant denial. You want to put them in a spot where somebody's going to have to stand still for a period of time. You know, you're not going to prevent somebody. It's not like a frost mat where you're going to catch them coming in through a window. You know, you've really got to think about if you're trying to do any damage with them. It's much more about that signal that somebody's entered.
It's good for zone control, is the way I describe it, right? If you want to keep someone out of a certain area for a certain amount of time, fantastic, and that's exactly why we're planting. It is so good. Clearly, they're really enjoying having the Valk Cam on this lounge spot, and you'd imagine that at this point, DarkZero are more than aware of it, given they have the IQ on side. Crit moving his way around here, looking to challenge inside a garage. Right sort of idea, as Rice is very nearby.
Nade is going to go in to clear that shield out from Rice. That will do the job. Can start pressuring on more towards Lounge. BG Man's not for giving it up yet, though. He's going to be at the bottom. He gets his spot. He knows that they want to be attacking this and will win it. It's Critchay who steps out and gets the kill onto Rice. I9 is taken down elsewhere. And essentially a trade of men. 4 versus 4 now. Halfway through the round, Pamba is established. He's cut off the line through Lounge. They need to be careful. If Critchay tries to move across here, he's going to find himself cut down.
Yeah, he's got to know that they know about this, and sure enough they do, but he manages to keep himself alive just. He's got 2 players coming on the backside as well. He's in such a precarious spot, moving his way in towards Garage here as well. Do they know about this though? I hope to God they do. Canadian ready, thinking that he's playing up on stairs, and he's simply not there, but he runs out into a Claymore. It could have been a big heroic moment, but completely denied by that Claymore.
Critchay with a bit more patience there, like you say, could have had a huge impact, with Canadians still putting the utility in towards those small stairs. It indicated to us that they weren't aware that he'd been able to slip past, and he could have been a real danger, but now they're dealing with the catwalk instead of dealing with it with ease as the fire bolts come in. The utility rains out, and Dark, he's going to be dropped, and that is now catwalk control, it's lounge control, it's everything that DarkZero need.
It is a bit of a suicide spot to play, and you know full well that you are going to get everything just thrown at you, whether it be nades, fire, Monty shields, everything is coming in for you, and really, maybe there's a point there of playing a bit more defensively once you'd already lost a few players. But Pamba has been cleaning house in the round, hits a 3K. He's up to 14 kills. That's the Pamba that we saw against G2. Going in for the plan here as well. Underneath, and it even catches out Troy.
I'm pretty sure I said something about plant spots. Canadian just falling foul of the razor bloom there. As I said, if you want to pick up those kills, it has to be in a position where somebody's going to try to stand still. Canadian just not reacting quickly enough to the trigger sound. It doesn't matter. DarkZero still got the round done. They take themselves into the lead on Clubhouse, and Fury, they are looking like backs are to the wall. And as I said, there's, you know, there comes a point, you're 4-2 up at the half. Fury maybe start thinking, hey, there's an opportunity for us to win this, and that mentality changes from one of freedom to one of pressure, and it's going to feel a lot different inside of the team. Out comes the tack timeout.
Very reasonable, I think, as well, when you've lost 3 rounds in a row on your defensive side. There's a conversation to be had there. Understandably, the coach wants to weigh in and say, right, we played 3 different sites, we've lost every single one. There is work to be done here. Time to course correct. We did so well coming out of that first half. Really here, it's what, 2 rounds and you're done and dusted, you're going home after what felt like potentially such a good spot to be in coming out the back of the earlier maps.
Yeah, I think we are potentially going to be seeing, was it Oregon that I was,
yes.
Our decider was?
Indeed.
I think we're definitely looking down that line at this minute in time. I'm not sure that DarkZero are going to be stopped here on Clubhouse now. They've got themselves onto the attack. They are looking much more comfortable and much more energetic than they have been so far.
Absolutely. I mean, it looks like they've really found the thunder now, and it's going to be hard to slow them down. But maybe that tack timeout will change the way this comes out. Looking at Fury's lineup, though, incredibly passive. Well, we saw the full 3-floral roam coming out from them last time around. They're taking a leaf out of DarkZero's book and gone full defensive down here in the basement. Electro denial in towards the mirror, the Goyo, the castle to lock things down. I mean, I say that. They're going for the same barricades as previously with the castle, so maybe they'll have some roaming coming in again, just not quite to the same level that we had before.
No, maybe not.
The other game is also on Club, by the way, and it's currently 2-1 to Bliss on the defensive side.
Oh, of course, that is 1 map apiece as well, so whoever wins that map will win. The loser will go home. So we'll keep you updated with how that one is going if you're not keeping an eye on it yourself. This one's difficult to look away from, though, I must agree. DarkZero fighting back now, looking to take us to a map 3 of our own. They're going to be attacking onto Church and Arsenal. I like to see that Fury have got the mirror this time, like always. As position 1 looking in towards blue. NJR was able to just wander in there last time, just play around Generator and pick up a double kill for free, really. And that's something that Fury have to address.
They do. Well, imagine again it's going to be a similar story for DarkZero. Just a slow, steady march on 4s. NGR working his way in across that top floor to try and deal with crit. But equally, we did think for a second see Pamba charging his way down towards dirt and just clearing the Goyo canister off the dirt door before backing out to rejoin his team to get the verticals open in and around kitchen. But those 2 Goyos being taken out means that dirt is now a very, real and possible angle they can make use of later in the round if they want to use it when things start looking sticky elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely that. If nothing else, it's that phantom pressure. Fury know that dirt is now a potential attack angle, especially the mirror player that's looking on into blue. It's just something they're going to be having to be aware of. You know, a nade flying across from dirt, for example, could be a specific danger to them, so they need to be very, very careful of that. I know there's no nades on the side of DarkZero, but the defenders aren't necessarily to know that.
Still working their way through this top floor, expecting to find crit still somewhere, and problem is he's long gone. I'm pretty sure he's back on site at this point. Has been now for about 10-15 seconds, so lots of attention being given upstairs here for the first 90 seconds of the round. Pamba and his work inside the dirt is definitely going to speed things up when they come around to start looking at the verticals, but hatches are still closed up, but they're still trying to find him. They've got no idea that he's long gone.
No, and that's, that's great play from Aroma. If you can burn more time, your absolute, key objective as Aroma is to burn as much time as possible. If you can get kills along the way, it's a bonus. Nitro sounds like it's going to be thrown, but doesn't detonate just yet. We will see whether that's going to keep hold of it for the time being. But I did hear that sound as well.
Yep.
We saw the book just backing out of there quickly.
So the greatest fear-inducing sounds in time. You want to see what Halloween's like? Just listen to that sound. Get the pings out downstairs, though, from the Jackal, I believe it is just forcing Lycola's back a little bit here. But no, sorry, EE1D came through and caught him, and then there's a Jackal scan on top of that as well, just to make life extra miserable. It has forced them all back, but even with these tools to deal with roamers, again, CritJ wasted so much time by really only being upstairs for a short amount of time, but doing enough just to convince DarkZero that he was still there. Now they're paying the price. 25 seconds to go. Kitchen hatch isn't opened up. Barely any verticals opened up either. This could sting unless they can get some kills.
Yeah, absolutely that. They're going to have no choice but to run in and get them. And I tell you what, run in and get them. They do. NJR, Pambazoo. How many times have we been saying those names over the last few rounds? Going absolutely huge when their team really needs them. They're cut down by Rice. And it is another DarkZero round. They are an unstoppable runaway train at the minute. And Fury, they're just stood on the tracks waiting to get hit.
Two halves to a game of Siege, Tim. I say it every single match we seem to cast because it's true. I'm pretty sure most people, those at home watching as well, 4-2 at the half, you'd have been saying, wow, Fury are on it. They're going to be able to beat DarkZero here. I don't think many would have accounted for a four rounds in a row win comeback by DZ to now be sat in the lead and be about to take this one away from Fury. And it'll be heartbreaking for Fury, given how well they've played. But this kind of was becoming the outcome that we expected it was going to be, and that'll be DarkZero joining G2 as the team going through from this group.
This is the difficulty with best of threes, you know, and this is why it's important that the elimination matches are best of threes, because it just goes to show there's another element to Siege, not just Siege, but esports and sports and any sort of competition in general, and that is, can you do it when it matters? Can you do it when that win is on the line? Fury, as I say, played with freedom on Chalet, but it just looks like the pressure is mounting on them here on Clubhouse. The smiles have gone, the laughing has stopped. They just seem to be playing with a different energy at the moment. They don't have the answers, and DarkZero, using their experience, are taking full advantage of that. They're on top of them, and they are pummeling them right now.
Aren't they just? One more round, boys. One more round. One hell of a comeback it'll be, given again they were down 4-2. To pull it back to 5 rounds in a row. Fury win this round though, Tim. Oh my God. It could well be a map 3 overtime.
Imagine.
I'd love that. To round out play-ins, yeah, have a whole tournament packed into 2 days, it'd feel like at that point.
So DarkZero looking to stretch us out to Oregon. It's going to be this round to do it. They've got 2 chances, actually. As I said, though, for Fury, I always sort of thought, win quick or you're going to struggle, because when it comes down to sort of the pressure time, the intensity going up, the tension rising, the stamina, everything else towards the end of these maps, that's where DarkZero are likely to shine. That's where Fury have maybe got that little bit less experience. So we're going to see just DarkZero softening up that top floor at the minute. It is bedroom that they're attacking onto, but they're going to look to push in from CCTV.
It's been a Pamba day so far, as any way I can describe it. 16 kills on this map earlier against G2. He was well up there towards 17, 18 kills as well. Mega performance from him. Still, it's I9 to strike first in the round, bringing down Gaveni. That's the ace taken offline. That can be a bit of a stinger.
Certainly could be. It was a bit of a freebie for I9, you've got to think, and DarkZero maybe just missing that with the drones. They've still got 8 up, so no real excuses there. I9 just being cautious. He knows he's going to be tracked down because they know exactly where he is. Pamba's waiting for him here, but I think I9 knows that he's around the corner, so he's just going to wait. He's going to pre-fire, but no, Pamba much quicker on the trigger. Takes him down with a headshot, levels things up, 4-4.
17 and 4, he just keeps on climbing towards that 20 dub, or 20 kills, sorry, in the map. Assuming it needs any more rounds to get things concluded out. Blessing still being that Canadian had those heart breaches in back pocket. I was going to remark and say with the Thermite now, you want to get VIP, single wall open up in towards construction, plus the CC wall, plus Jacuzzi wall. At least having those on side means that you have the ability to open up a couple more things as well. So this is why that insurance choice of having a couple of heart breach charges in back pocket is employed by a lot of teams.
Just going to send in the utility there just to make sure nobody's hiding in the corner of logistics. That's unfortunate. Lycolis is able to recover the nitro, though, to have another go should he want to. Pamba, does he catch his man? He does not. Manages to find the spray down on the stairs, though. BG man really needs to be winning those. Lycolis is there for the trade. Drops Pamba, will finish it off. 3 versus 2, 2 versus 2, as Dark stands up and is countered inside of Jim. Canadian taking damage, and what looked good for DarkZero seems to be dropping away.
Not a lot of time to play with here as well. They're going to have to really push in as a pair here and pick off these fights 1-to-1. A bit of a dance around here as well coming on through. Rice goes down. Lycolis going absolutely huge. Canadian left standing, but Lycolis over to the ITA, gets the finish, 6 and 5.
Fury keeps on fighting. They want that map to overtime. They want to get this done and dusted. They don't want to be seeing anything of Oregon. Remember, 2 rounds, well, not 3, sorry, that Fury will require. 1 takes them to overtime, and 2 more will get the job done, and that will send them into phase 2 and send DarkZero home. without any further ado. So we're going to be heading into that potentially really soon. We've got round 12 to come. DarkZero, no more mistakes now. No more mistakes. You've ended your run of winning rounds, and you now need.
I mean, I'll take winning 4 rounds in a row.
Oh, it's certainly not bad at all, you know. But Fury, are they finding that little bit of momentum, that little blip that they need just when they need it?
I just want this to go all the way to 15 now, Tim. I think it deserves it. But not just us, but also Fresh deserves it for his bingo card.
No, it wouldn't be. It's not map 3. Map 3 specifies on the bingo card. Map 3 designates overtime.
I see.
So it'd have to be on Oregon.
I thought it was all the way. Fair enough.
10 seconds to
We'll take it to Oregon if we have to.
We can do that too.
Still plenty of chances.
Round 15, map 3, that's, I think, exactly what everybody wants to see from
I mean, there's a lot of
team.
elimination games to come next week, let's not forget as well, going into the Swiss stage. All the non-elimination games are best of 1, but when a team... Next week's format, for those who don't know, is really, really fun. It's you have to win 3 times and you make it through, lose 3 times and you're out. But your potential, all your third games, the ones where you would be on 3 losses afterwards, are all best of 3s. So some teams can go through real slogs just to stay in it if they start off losing early on, but it just brings so much excitement as a format. So I'm really excited to get into that as well.
Crit J is going to find his way back down onto site. We've seen him roaming the last couple of times, but this time he's going to play the Fenrir. Look at Pampa though. He's not messing about. He's getting straight down those main stairs. I tell you what, that's a position where you'll catch somebody out. If they decide to just push up and try to challenge onto Kitchen Corridor, for example, they're going to run right into the face of Pamba, and it could be a little bit of a shock for them.
All right, drones in position, ready and waiting. I liked how last time round that they managed to burn their way in through dirt really quick. Again, it opened up that possibility of later in the round to give him a new angle, even if they didn't make use of it. And you see this quite a lot in Siege, I think, where teams will do things that look a bit maybe strange in the moment, but it is to prep things later in the round that maybe they don't use and you go, well, that was a waste of time. But it's more making sure it's there available as an option to them if they need it at some point in the round. Just making sure they've got multiple options in case the primary one fails off, where, I don't know, you can't open up bar hatch, for example, as Fury learned back in the first half when they brought no EMPs along for the attack.
I9 just looking, waiting, ready to apply the electrical, looking for the trick.
I mean, same story here. Do it now. He hasn't got to trick it, just electrify. No one can take it off, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's nothing really that can be done. It's on a concrete surface. They'd have to come down and take it out from the bottom of main stairs, realistically.
Obviously, he doesn't know that there's no EMPs on this team.
He's not aware, but...
so he's going to have to trick it and then just leave it tricked, potentially.
No, I mean, it's not the end of the world. You know, you've only got an Ace on the other side. If he is able to catch a Selma charge, you know, Ace can only open 1 hatch anyway. They've got the hard breach utility and
that should be the sign they need.
But it could seriously limit them.
Now that he's had to impact nade off the electro charge on the other side, that should really be the telling sign for I9. And I think he has released away his claw and is going to leave it on there now, knowing that they've got no EMPs.
Yeah, exactly. So the double Selma charge opening up the stock hatch. 45 seconds left to go. DarkZero fans are going to be setting. Getting a little bit worried, I think, at this point, because it is going to come down to one of those late pushes. More
Do you
than
believe
likely.
in Pamba?
Pamba sends the nade in towards dirt, but there's plenty of room for Lycolis to get away from it. 30 seconds left to go, and they're looking to get themselves inside a sight. Rice, he is going to announce his presence by triggering that dread mine. There's the spray down. Lycolis has to get the kill here. He's going to be flashed. He's not going to get it. He gets spun round every which way. 15 seconds. DarkZero are coming.
And they're in and charging forward. They found the kills they need. 2 left standing. Dark finding 1 back. All 3 are grouped up. They've got them all on red pings, Tim. They know what's going on. He's dead! He's got the down as well as they got time to recover and get the plant off here as well. Yes, but they've got to win this 1 versus 1. I9 not quite managing to do it. It's going to require map 3, Tim.